Yeah. BOSSMACK topsoil, extra relevant, late night conversations with no explanation. Had to come right in, man. Right now, man, I'm about to critique this debate I saw today on the Joe Rogan podcast. This is some different shit, man. I know. But I was spiritually moved by some shit I seen on there today. This bitch Candace Owens, world famous. Candace Owens, Kanye West's bitch. But really, she Trump's bitch. She loved Trump. She loved Trump and Ivanka, and she just loved them all. She loves Ben Carson. She loves all of it. She's a pretty bitch, kind of. She talk real fast, she talk really, really fast. I suspect that she's on Adderall, but I'm not hating because of that, because, I mean, there's plenty of white people who fuck with Adderall, but she's going real fast. She talk real fast. I guess that talk real fast is like to demonstrate intelligence and to not let the next motherfucker say some shit because she talks so fast. But anyway, I'm gonna setting this up with a piece. I'm gonna play a clip from the interview, and it's a piece that's setting up everything. It's in the beginning of the podcast where I think low-key Joe Rogan had accused a bitch of being on Adderall, but she didn't pick that. Well, she might have picked it up, but I think he low-key like let her know that he knew she was on Adderall. But she went into a critique of Ben Shapiro, and then she discusses how she's open to learning. It's just a piece setting up the whole shit, but fuck with this.
Yeah, he does that, man.
Yeah,
but I like him.
dude.
Like, I liked these kids in school. I'd just be like, I was just the kid that was just like kind of like more chill, and like I don't need to like. And sometimes when he just goes over the stupid stuff, it's like. But I do wonder like if he's learning anymore. That's the one thing. Like yeah, because he doesn't like to have like. It's like once he has an opinion, like I like to have conversations, and I like to be wrong about the conversation because I don't know everything. I think that's kind of like why people love this podcast so much, because you're open to learning anything. Like you'll have people on this podcast, you're like, who's he having? Because there's always something that you can learn. There's always something that you don't understand that you don't know.
If you have an open mind.
If you have an open mind.
Yeah.
Now this is a smart bitch.
Just I fell victim to the idea that like it was progress. We have to care about the environment. It was progress. And it's like, no, like we've been losing. America has been losing. And Donald Trump understood that in a way that I didn't. And
I don't think we have to care about the environment? Like,
no, not even a little bit. Like,
not even a little bit?
No. Okay, let me clarify this. I don't throw trash on the ground. Like okay. I'm not saying like we need to like, trash the environment. Like, but do I believe in climate change? No.
This is a smart bitch. Don't forget that.
You don't believe in climate change?
Well, I think the climate always changes, I guess is what I should say. Do I believe that this is like, an issue that is being, that is global warming, which they've changed conveniently. They got rid of the word once scientists started disproving it. Now they only say climate change. No, I think that was just a way to extract dollars from Americans. I don't at all believe. They had no actionable plan. It was great for Trump to get out of that deal. It was terrible.
Okay, but this is an incredibly complicated subject.
Right.
And if you would have to talk to a bunch of different scientists and see how they gather data and see what they understand about CO2 levels and what's the danger of them and what can combat it and what could not. Have you done all this, or do you take this flippant opinion based on the party line?
This wouldn't be the hill I died on, right? But it's not about the party. I just genuinely, I've read a ton about it, but I would not be able to. I would not.
Now notice how a smart bitch never responds to Joe Rogan on the part about what have she read, the ton of information that she read on climate change. I think that probably came through on Twitter for a bitch. But this is a smart bitch. Remember that. Look, she talking. Look how fast she talking. Smart bitch.
Be able to come to you and say, like, this is my strong opinion, but here's like the easiest way to say this, right?
Okay.
The fact that there is a disparity in the science community about whether or not it's real is enough to...
It's very little.
Yep.
Very little disparity.
But,
Most scientists, the vast majority, agree that human beings are negatively affecting climate change.
Yeah.
The vast majority.
Yeah, I just don't think so.
So you think that the very few scientists that disagree with the
Yeah.
consensus are the ones that are correct?
Well, I think if something is, it's either subjective or it's objective, and there are objective truths, right? But it's subjective if you're saying that there are some, and I don't think there's very little. There are some that don't get paid to go on TV. There's some that are not Bill Nye, who are not funded scientists, and that has been a whole...
Well, Bill Nye's not a scientist.
I know.
Look at this bitch right here. Look how easy he just caught a bitch in a lie right quick. That bitch didn't know Bill Nye wasn't a real scientist. You see what I'm saying? This is Kanye bitch. This the bitch Kanye say he liked the way a bitch think. He liked the way a bitch think. This hoe right here, man.
He's not. He's
it broke my heart when I found out.
Science
Mouthpiece.
propagandist.
Yeah, that's the point.
He's no, that's not a good word.
I don't think Al Gore is a scientist.
He's not.
Right.
But Bill Nye is like a science influencer or a science entertainer.
Yeah, he's like a...
But he doesn't have a background in actual science. He's not a scientist. He doesn't have a PhD. He's got an
I learned about him in
undergraduate-
school. Like, everything I did in science had to do with Bill Nye.
Well,
science
he
guy.
promotes science, and science is not bad.
Yeah.
But the real problem is with climate change is that, for sure, there has been ups and downs throughout the history of this planet. They're observable. They follow them in. I mean, it was one of the subjects that I had earlier today with Dr. Robert Schoch. In 2014, the vast majority, 87% of scientists, said that human activity is driving global warming, yet only half the American public ascribe to that view. So,
well, what website is
87%, and this is
Scientific American.
Yeah.
Yeah, .com though, like, cause that means it's making money. I don't trust that. If it was a .org, I would probably take that. But this is just a random website, and I don't trust.
Scientific American is not necessarily a random website.
Once again, smart dumb bitch don't know shit about Scientific American magazine. Scientific American. It's a bullshit website. Scientific American. It's a .com. It's making money. If it was a .org, I'd feel more comfortable. This is Kanye bitch. He like the way this bitch think. This bitch think retarded. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't believe this like at all. Just so you know.
You don't believe it like at all?
I genuinely don't believe it. I know you do, but I genuinely don't believe it.
I
like,
believe most of the time the consensus of scientists that are studying the data.
Right.
And so what they're doing is
But
studying.
do you remember all of the stories that came out about the scientists that said that when they tried to present their evidence to show, like, they were basically just getting shut down at every corner? You can pull that up too. Like, scientists who look up the opposite. Right? Instead of looking for what you're searching for, looking for what you're not looking for.
I didn't search for it. That's what I found when I searched it.
Sorry.
This bitch don't even know what to say. They ain't even clowning her. They just presenting facts to a bitch. See, this is what niggas gotta deal with out here. This is what niggas really have to deal with out here, with bitches that think they fucking smart, but they really smart, dumb bitches, which leave a bitch neutral. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, look up.
But this is my question.
Yeah.
Why are you so sure? This is
because what you just said. Because what you just said.
This is an extremely complicated subject.
And it is. I said I am not so sure that I would die on the hill for it. Mm-hmm. My opinion right now, and is just that it was a means, because forget the fact of whether you believe global warming is real. Let's say it's 100% real. Let's say we know for a fact it's real. Is there a way?
Well, let's be clear.
Yeah.
Global warming, climate change is definitely real. It's happening.
Well,
the question is, why has it happened? Yes, it has always happened.
So what is the climate change? Yes, the climate changes. It was different weather yesterday than it was today.
Look at this bitch. What the fuck is a bitch doing with her eyes? A bitch have no response. A bitch is just talking fast, just trying to confuse a motherfucker. Ain't saying shit though. Dumb bitch.
climate is forever changing. Like that's the problem, is that people are making it seem like that's something weird.
No,
it's not
that's
unique.
not. You're misrepresenting the issue. The issue is people think that human beings are exacerbating climate change to the point where there's a tipping point. We cross over that tipping point. We're going to deal with huge problems that could be corrected if we act now and put a lot of funding into climate control.
Okay.
And this is what Howard Bloom was on talking about a few days ago. He was talking about that the real future involves the technology of climate control, and that what we have to be really careful of is letting it get too far where you can't ever stop it and pull it back. This is what scientists are warning about. This is why they want emission standards. This is why they want to figure out how to get people to be aware of the fact that this is a real issue. Now, irregardless, human beings, if they never existed, the Earth has constantly gone through cycles. The question is not whether or not the Earth has gone through cycles of cooling and warming. The question is, are we exacerbating that? The vast majority of scientists say we are. Now, this could negatively impact all sorts of coastal cities. This could be a gigantic problem. This is not like propaganda that's drummed up by some sort of big business that seeks to make money off of this, or some sort of a
well, they were making money off of it.
Al Gore might have made some money off of it.
No, but like the agreement that we were in, they were that was like the amount of money that America was losing. But here's what I was going to ask you. So let's just
wait a minute. The amount of money America was losing. Who is America?
In the Paris Agreement. This is the reason why we wanted to get out of the Paris Agreement. But that's what I wanted to get to. So let's say we all agree that global warming is real. I don't believe it's real. Okay, so I can't sit here.
But here's the question. But why have a belief?
Once again, I want to draw your attention to the fact that the bitch said at the beginning of this whole piece. I played you a clip where the bitch said she was open to learning. She was open to learning, and she was wondering if Ben Shapiro ever learned anything, because she realizes that she don't know everything. But look at how a bitch acting right here, because she got caught looking dumb as fuck. She can't even fall back and be like, maybe I need to learn some shit about climate change instead of just having an opinion talking shit with no facts, like a dumb bitch.
What do you mean?
Why have a belief as to whether or not global warming is real or not real?
Because I just find that when things,
you don't understand the science.
You are correct.
But why have a belief in it?
Right. So it's not a belief. It's not a belief in it. I don't believe in it.
But that's what I'm saying. But you have a belief that it doesn't exist.
Right. I personally think that this was just the fact that it was presented to us by Al Gore, and it's not
presented to us just by Al Gore.
Right.
Al Gore made a film, and he's been called like the first green billionaire. He's made a shitload of money off of that.
And he flies in his private plane because he's so worried about the emissions. Okay.
That is hilarious.
Yeah,
there's something hilarious about that.
All of the people that are telling us.
But he's a fucking politician.
Right.
You know, there's grossness to all that stuff.
Right. And that's what worries me. So my question is, let's say that it's real.
Okay.
Let's just assume, like, that's the best way to have the debate. Let's say it's 100% real. Do you feel that you have found in your research that there is something that human beings can do that would change this all around?
It's possible, yes. One of the things that they're figuring out how to pull carbon out of the atmosphere and even possibly reuse it. There's all sorts of things that people are trying to do. I mean, we had what was the young man who made that device? Boyan Slot. He figured out a way to make this device that pulls plastic out of the oceans. They're figuring out a way to. I mean,
that's important.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, well, because plastic just can't over time. But that's what I mean. Like, so when I say that I'm I believe in recycling. Like, I'm not like a person that's like this is. But the idea that the government is just going to take trillions of dollars because we're in some agreement where we're all agreeing that we should do something is useless. And look, from the stuff. Like, there's obviously a lot of debate here, and as I said, like, I'm not so. The one thing you'll always find with me is I'll never pretend to be so educated on something. Like, I'm not going on college campuses talking about global warming. I don't do that.
Right, but why are you saying that you don't think it exists?
I don't know. Maybe because it got because it got so politicized.
Studies into scientific agreement on human-caused global warming, and look at all the studies. It's between 100% and 91% at the lowest. 91% of one of the studies from 2014.
This is the Union of Concerned Scientists.
Yeah, they almost. It's a pretty broad consensus.
Who are they polling? Is it the people that are a part of this dot?
This .org?
That's what I'm asking.
10,306 scientists to confirm over 97% of climate scientists agree, and over 97% of the scientific articles find that global warming is real and largely caused by humans.
Right.
See, Joe Rogan, he don't realize that by reading to this bitch, he accomplishes nothing. Because the bitch, no matter what, if Jesus Christ appeared in front of her and said, bitch, the scientist is right, she would not believe Jesus. It would have to be Donald Trump come out and say, you know what, I consulted with some scientists and they said it is global warming and the humans are responsible for some of it. Then she would be like, okay, yes, okay, I see now. I see, yeah, it is. That's how it would work with a bitch like this.
So my question to you is, if you want to step outside of the scientific consensus, which is vast and involves 10,306 scientists, and just say, I don't believe in it, even if you're right, you don't have enough information to say that.
Right. No,
but
that's what I said. This is the whole
point. But you're
point.
saying you don't believe it.
I don't. Yeah, I would have to have someone sit down and convince me that it was real. I personally don't believe it. That's okay.
But why?
It's good to start at a place of not believing something.
No, it's not.
You think you should start with believing everything.
No, it's not believe either or. Not believe yes, not believe no.
Yeah.
But don't say you don't believe.
Yeah.
Learn about it.
Yeah.
Learn about it and then have an opinion. But you're stating this opinion without having any real understanding of what climate science is.
But that's exactly what an opinion is. I'm not going, like I said, if you said that, Candace, you went on to 10,000 college campuses and you said that global warming.
I'm going to have to play the beginning clip from this piece so you could marinate on what this bitch said about being willing to learn. Out this bitch mouth.
Yeah, he does that, man.
Yeah,
but I like him.
dude.
Like I liked these kids in school. I'd just be like, I was just the kid that was just like kind of like more chill and like I don't need to like. And sometimes when he just goes over the stupid stuff, it's like. But I do wonder like if he's learning anymore. That's the one thing. Like because he doesn't like to have like. It's like once he has an opinion, like I like to have conversations and I like to be wrong about the conversation because I don't know everything. Like, I think that's kind of like why people love this podcast so much because you're open to learning anything. Like you'll have people on this podcast, you're like, who's he having? Because there's always something that you can learn. There's always something that you don't understand that you don't know.
If you have an open mind.
If you have an open mind.
Yeah.
We gonna give this bitch the Smart Dumb Bitch Award. We gonna give her the Smart Dumb Bitch Award. You feel me?
Wasn't real, then we'd have a problem. You and I are just having a conversation.
Yeah, but why have an opinion on something that you don't have data about? This is my question. Like, I don't necessarily have an opinion on climate science. I really don't, because I don't know much about it. But what I do know is that what I've read is that the vast majority of people who study it are in agreement that human beings are affecting it.
I just my recall on a lot of things that I read, and this was a while ago, so this is when I first formed my opinion on not believing this, I read a shit ton of articles. Can't recall the data because, like I said, this wasn't something I was super passionate about. It was like somebody posted something, and then I went on like a tear reading about it. But it was essentially just noting that in a lot of these studies, like when you go and if we had time to sit down and really pull this up, they're polling, 10,000 scientists that are within a community that is like these .orgs. Do you believe in everything that MediaMatters.org puts out?
Okay, what did this bitch just say? What did a bitch say? I couldn't understand none of that shit.
For statistics, right? That's a political arm of the Democratic Party.
Talking about a different subject.
I know, but
but politics versus science.
But this has been politicized. That's the thing.
Science has been politicized.
Yes, it has. Global warming in particular has been politicized. 100% it has been politicized, right? That's the whole reason I fell down this dark hole one night reading about it. And I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, I don't really care.
It has been politicized, but I think that's also maybe why you're saying you don't agree with it so quickly.
Right.
Because it's
that's why I read
it's an ideological right-wing point.
Right.
Is that global warming isn't real.
Right.
If you're one of those people that thinks global warming isn't real, you're almost always on the right.
Right. And that's fine. But I'm telling you that, like, again, I didn't do a deep dive on all of this because I read about it because it was at a forefront of a discussion. So I read about it all night. And my conclusion was that they started pulling up all of these studies from the person that, did this that I did a deep dive on. And they started showing how, like, these community of scientists were in fact somewhere behind that .org is someone that was being funded. So to me, the issue got too politicized for me to believe that global warming was something that was going to wipe out the world. Now,
scientists get funded. That is a fact.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that the funding affects the scientific research and the data, which they all agree on. And this is universally across the entire planet.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of scientists would not stake their reputation on false data. What they're saying is not that the only reason why the world is getting warm is because human beings. That the only reason why the climate isn't totally static for the rest of eternity is because of human beings. What they're saying is we are negatively impacting our own environment, and we're doing it because we have poor technology and we use coal and fossil fuels and emissions, and we're raising our CO2 levels. And this is based on data. And this is something that you can look at. You could look at the data and follow where they're getting this information from, and follow how they're making these conclusions, and follow the vast majority of these brilliant people who study this shit their whole life.
Yeah, exactly. And if I was a person that was putting forth policy on climate change, or if I was a person that put out my opinion publicly on climate change, I would do all of that. I'm just not.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that you're a very smart person, and people listen to you, and they're going to listen to you for a long time.
But this is what I hate. This is what I hate.
But hold
because
on,
then it's like, Candace, you have
saying.
to have a formed opinion on everything.
No, you don't have to.
At this point, Joe Rogan is like, God damn! Is this what niggas really gotta go through with these bitches? This bitch is ridiculous. What the fuck? What is wrong with this bitch? I am telling this bitch real facts, and she's not hearing me. Welcome to the world of niggas. This is what niggas gotta deal with, Joe Rogan. This is what niggas gotta deal with right here. This is yo run of the mill smart dumb black bitch right here, bro. This is what it is right here. You feel me? And she really tripping because she done got blessed by Kanye. She really tripping. You can't even tell a bitch facts. She's trying to keep it under composure.
Form opinion on everything. What you do have to have is the ability to know when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
But I just said that. I said that to you the entire time.
I said you don't believe it.
I said I don't believe it. And then you asked me, and I said this wouldn't be the hill I chose to die on because I don't follow it.
But why even say you don't believe in it?
Because I just personally, if you...
How about not have a belief until you really have looked at the data?
Okay, so you would prefer if my language, as opposed to admitting that I do not know this, I wouldn't die on this hill, I've never made a video, I've never made a public statement, you would have preferred if I had just started by saying, I have no opinion.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You say
but I said I didn't know.
No, you say I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it. You're saying really clearly that you don't think it's real.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it would be the same if I said to you, like, you know, do you believe in God? Right.
No, I would say I don't know.
You would say so. That's this. I feel like this is sort of like linguistics, though.
No, I would say I don't know.
Okay.
I always say I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm agnostic.
Most people say like I believe it or I don't. Right. So it's like if you say.
I think a lot of people say they don't know.
Okay, I think believe is definitely a word that's associated with God.
He just told a bitch that he don't know. I don't know if God exists, and a bitch is just telling him. I believe is associated with God. Man, this is the smartest, dumbest bitch in the world, man. This is the...
But
right,
so
but a lot of people
if I say like, but if you say I don't believe in God, and then somebody starts saying, "Oh, you need to form it," it's like, I just don't believe in it.
No, you don't, because God is not scientific data.
Right.
There's a big difference between measuring the CO2 levels in the atmosphere and deciding whether or not there's an afterlife.
Right. I'm sorry that I just don't believe in global warming. I'm happy to.
You're allowed to not believe in it.
That's all I've been trying to say. Is I don't believe in it, but I have not.
You're an influencer.
Yeah,
and you're a very bright person.
But if somebody had asked me, like at a place where I'm influencing on a college campus, what's your opinion? I would say I have none.
I bet you would say I don't believe in it, like you just did.
That is absolutely not.
But you
that's
just
not
did
true.
it.
I know y'all probably like, why is you even going through all this shit, BOSSMACK? Why is you going through this shit, hurting me, making me listening to this bitch? I mean, this is an influential bitch out here. This bitch causing a lot of fucking ruckus out here, man. But we gotta highlight this shit, bro. This is, you feel me? How many, like, if this was like a debate where they was scoring points for you getting fucked up, what's the score, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I know it's some pro-black motherfuckers be on my page and shit, man. And y'all probably don't like me talking bad about this bitch, man. Fuck y'all niggas, man. This bitch right here, fuck this bitch. I mean, not like fuck her, but you know, this bitch, man. This bitch is uncorrectable. This bitch is she can't be corrected, man.
There are so many instances where you could watch this. Just like, and you can ask Dave Rubin when he asks me a question, I say I don't have an opinion on it.
About a different subject,
but yeah,
perhaps.
because you and I are having a conversation one-on-one. I'm not sitting here to try to. I don't go on campus talking about global warming because I don't have an opinion on it. But
Okay.
if you press me and ask me if I believe in it, no, I don't really believe in it. But could I go deep dive and learn that perhaps I'm wrong? Sure. I personally am inclined to believe that a lot of those studies are manipulated.
How hard is it for a bitch to be willing to learn some shit, man? You feel me? How hard is it? All of that to get a bitch to say, I don't know about global warming, and I'd be willing to learn. She just want to fuck with whatever Trump say. Fucking crazy. I just wanted to put that debate out there, man. It was a little funny to me today, man. You know. I know y'all motherfuckers like, man, what the fuck? But hey, man, I just felt like doing that shit.
As I said, during the one night that I did deep dive on it, and when they showed like all of the pieces of evidence or whatever, it just seemed a little shady, and I felt that it was politicized. But I think that I have a right to say that I don't believe in something, but that I also don't know, and that's what I said to you. I don't believe in it, but I wouldn't die on this hill. I don't know enough about it.
You did say you wouldn't die on this hill.
Yeah.
But you also said you don't believe in it, and you stated the reason why, because you think it's a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the truth. What do you want me to do? You want me to lie to you?
No, it's okay, but I'm not
sitting here saying
it's a complicated issue. It's
very
complicated.
It may be complicated. That's fine. But what do you want me to lie to you and say? I'm not a politician. You want me to? You should the correct term. Like I feel like this is like the editing that people do. Like when they're like, oh, Obama, if they ask you a question, you don't know. This is the way. I'm not running for office. I'm answering. Right. I'm talking to you. I don't believe in it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I can't be fake. This is my number one problem in life is I can't be fake. And I know that you're pressing me here and that you want me to adjust and to say like I do not have an opinion but I'm not like a politician. I'm telling you, I don't believe in it. Could I change my perspective and believe in it a year after I read stuff?
If you were just a regular person and you said I don't believe in it, I'd probably go, all right. The problem is you're not. You're a very influential person.
But I'm aware when I'm on stage, when I'm on my YouTube channel, there's no videos of Candace Owens talking about global warming. I'm aware of that.
There is now.
Yeah, exactly.